Hi guys, it's Carol Lee with Coaching with Carol Lee, and don't mind my mess behind me. I'm still in process of reinventing my office. It was an office and it was a tea room. Now it's an office again. So, anyways, I got my whiteboard over there. Whatever. So, I wanted to talk about. Well, actually, I had some good conversations today. I had somebody come to my home and I did a little coaching with her and stuff. Then I talked to someone on the phone, had another session, and then I just found out the other day that a fellow that I've been talking to, he was in, I would say, a little bit of physical stuff, but mainly, mental, whatever. And for a guy, that's a really hard place to be because people are like, well, why don't you just whatever? Well, they say that's a woman too. Why don't you just leave? Well, if they only knew, the mind games they play with you, whatever, it just really, it can bring you down. You can be, you see actors, actresses, beautiful people, and they are so depressed, because inside something, they say like two things are your beliefs and your fears. So there's something inside that is a false belief, a false fear. It's bringing you down. And what you think about is what you bring about. So, if you've got this fear, like, I don't know, like, okay, this is a good one. And it's probably true, though, really, but who knows? I love to sing and dance. I'm always like going around, do, do, do. And I can remember my father saying, sis, what did you do with the basket? And I'm like, what basket? And he says, the basket to carry your tune. So now, sometimes I don't care who's around, I'll sing. But do I really think I have a good voice? No. But was it because of that, or do I not really have a good voice? Some people just don't have it. But that could be a belief. So I might explore that and try to see, maybe take a few singing lessons, see what happens. You never know. You don't know if you don't try. That's one thing. So anyways, okay. I'm waiting for my birds to freak out or my dogs or something. As soon as somebody pulls in my driveway, they all freak. Or if the birds are too bored. Okay. So anyways, we all have things inside of us that make us feel bad. Some of the people I talk to, I move them to tears. Well, no, I shouldn't say it that way, but, you just talk to them and you can see it coming out of them, and it's okay. Like the one person I talked to today, I recommend a couple things for her to do. And I said, at first, I said, it's really positively, I guarantee you'll say, oh yeah, when you do that. But you might cry at first. It might hurt. But when you have hurts inside, you have to get them out, number one, by crying. And then you have to figure out, why am I feeling like this? Okay. I dated a guy that, he hurt my feelings quite often. One day they love you, one day they don't. They get in a mood, you don't know why. Arguments over stupid crap. And I would say, you hurt my feelings. And he's like, I'm not responsible for your feelings. Well, I had to think about that one. But you know what? In a way, he's got a point, because a lot of times we base what people say on what is inside of us already. If we already have a hurt to do with that, it's going to hurt twice as much or whatever. But I do believe people can intentionally do it. And some people do. There are people out there that they say hurt people, sad people, make people sad. That is true. And we, especially women, I think, but, not, there's a lot of nice guys out there too. But, we think, we can love them and they'll feel better if we love them enough, if we, whatever. But there's some people, you just can't love them enough. You've got to love yourself. You've got to move on. You've got to, I don't know. Just some people I know are so sad. They feel so broken. They don't feel important. They've just been stripped of all their self-confidence. They used to be fun and bubbly, and now they're just like a shadow. And like I was telling the one person today, I got to a point, this is when I was married to my husband, who was a really good guy, good worker, whatever. But between us, we had 6 kids. 5 lived with us off and on. Well, 4 of them grew up here. My son was older, though, and came back for a little while. But just all the crap with the kids. Sorry about my language. The crap with the kids. Working, trying to be a wife, taking care of a house, whatever. It's like I really kind of lost myself in all that, And, then my husband passed away, and, all of a sudden you're like, wow, like, where did I go? So, and you'll see these Facebook posts, like, if you had $100,000 and you can go anywhere in the world, where would you go? Or what would you buy? And I couldn't even think of anything. There's not a single thing that I could think of that I wanted. Or not that seemed realistic. Like I'd like an RV. I want to travel around, whatever, but, you have to live. Yeah, $100,000 is a lot of money, but so is an RV. So, you got to think realistically. But I was like where I couldn't even think of anything I really wanted, So, I just, and I found like I'm waking up in the morning and I'm spending, I'd wake up at 5:30 in the morning. And about 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm still on Facebook, which part of it was a couple groups that I belonged to, which was giving me real life training for what I do now, right? Because, you read real people's accounts and you learn a lot. But anyway, so I all of a sudden realized, here are my days just like blah, blah, blah. I do still have a part-time job that I'm keeping, for a little while. I love the job. I like to get out and see people now and then. So we'll see how it goes. But I may just have to drop it, depending, But anyway, so between that and whatever, I'm like, you know what? I'm wasting all this time on Facebook. I get off, I feed the birds, feed the dogs, do the few dishes that are left from the night before, because we always eat wicked late, and my son gets out at like, who knows what time in the morning, whatever. So, I'm doing all that, shampoo my carpet once a week, vacuum, dust, whatever. And before you know it, like the day's over, and what have I done, really, And here I want to paint. I got to finish doing this office, spare bedroom. I had it all ready for the grandkids, but then my daughter needed to use it for a storeroom for a while. So, I have the same problems as everybody else in trying to balance time and stuff. But then I realized I wasn't balancing time. I'm on Facebook just, reading things, articles, whatever. And yes, while a lot of it was educational, I needed to get out of bed and get moving. So, I kind of created a new routine. And so I was kind of telling the ladies I talked to today, and I've told this to people recently in the recent past when I started doing this. So, like when I wake up in the morning, I usually don't even look at the time unless I have to go to work, but usually my alarm's set then and everything. But I would just sit there and, I'm a Christian. I believe in God and Jesus and everything. And I love you even if you don't. But I do sit there and I kind of pray and thank God and, how can I serve people today, or, just whatever comes to mind. Then I get up and have coffee, and I do let myself, after that, make the coffee. I do let myself have like an hour on Facebook. I check up on things real quick. You'll see me on and off all day, weird times, but I try not to stay on it for a couple hours like I used to. And then as soon as I do my Facebook, I might still have to do some dishes, and I got to feed my dogs, my birds, and whatever. But I've got my cell phone. I've got my computer, which is recording this. So I can bring it with me in the kitchen, either one, and get on YouTube and just listen to somebody continuously, either listen to Tony Robbins or, all these names just escape me. Melissa, somebody. But, you just listen to one and there's a whole bunch on the sidebar you can listen to and, keep yourself motivated. Or I turn on K-Love, which is my favorite radio station. It's just it's all positive. They've got a rapper that has songs on there. They've got, upbeat things you can dance to. They've got, nice, loving, So anyways, so yeah, I do a lot of educational things, throughout the day whenever I get a chance. It depends on my schedule. It depends on a lot of things. But I always try to, I've got tons of books on my phone here, ebooks. And if I told you some of them, here, should I tell you some? There's one or two that are pretty funny. Let's see here. Let me get on my Kindle. Let's see how quick it loads. But, I read books if I get a chance. If I'm sitting in a doctor's office, why not read a book instead of get on Facebook? There's one guy, what is his name? I think it's Ty Lopez. That guy's awesome. It's either him or Tony Robbins reads one book a day. I'm like, wow. Okay, Reinvent Yourself. I don't know if you could see it. Part of my language on this one. The Power of Pussy. And I just got one about how a woman can be in business, but they don't have to have a penis or something. I'm like, why do I keep running into all these weird things, right? What's that one called? Trapped in the Mirror. I haven't read that yet, but I heard it's really good. Life Coach. Codependent No More. Girls Snap Out of It. I mean, there's just a ton of books. And you know what? Nobody. I heard Tony Robbins say this. This isn't my wisdom. I wasn't born knowing all this stuff. I either lived it or I learned it, through jobs, through education, through whatever. So if you want to better your life in any way, at least start with some positivity. Listen to some upbeat music. Stop watching all these stupid TV shows where men are disrespecting the woman, they're disrespecting the man. The kids think it's funny, ha 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 ha. And we wonder why our kids grow up thinking this is normal. And I'm not going to say one of my favorite shows is Seinfeld. I know that's terrible for a Christian woman. But, it is reality. It's funny. I love Kramer. That's why I named my one dog Cosmo. So anyways, holy moly, we're almost up to 15 minutes. Okay, so I probably rambled on. I probably whatever, but this is stuff that I just feel like I got to try to help people get from the negative self-image. Try to bring them out like a flower. Try to help them blossom. We can all blossom. We weren't made to live in poverty, hating every day of our lives, thinking we're fat, ugly, whatever. You know what? I got horrible teeth right now. Oh my God. Can't wait to get them fixed. But you know what? I am not going to let it stop me from going out and helping people, trying to enjoy my life, get my life back on track, because it's gotten off track a couple thousand times, right? But we can all do it. We can all move on to something better. We don't have to be trapped in poverty. You don't have to be trapped in a bad relationship. Frankly, I don't mind being alone. Yeah, I miss my husband. Sometimes I miss my ex-boyfriend, because we did have some good times. I'm not going to say that he was a total beep beep, whatever. I assume responsibility for things not working too, but it just wasn't the mature relationship I was looking for. But I'm not going to say, right now, I ain't looking for love because I'm just loving on everybody in the world here. So, okay, yeah, I know. Anyways, time to go. Have a good one and talk to you later. Bye.